everybody, welcome to my channel. My name is Rebecca and I'm here today to at least get us started on the journey of going through my 2021 deck collection, how my deck collection looked at the end of the year 2021. Now, I have no clue how long this video is going to be. I imagine I'm going to be splitting it into a couple parts. So grab a beverage and tuck in and we will get started. I'm not really planning on doing this in any discernible order because where I'm at right now is I have a lot of things that are just kind of question marks in my deck collection and in my life. So I thought the way we would do this is that I would just get out my stuff and talk to you about it and talk to you about my feelings about it so I can determine for myself, are these things keeping? Are they like where I'm at with each item in my collection? And because I grabbed it first, we are starting with my Weaver's Oracle. So I don't suspect this is going to be going anywhere. Although at this time, it is the 13th as I'm filming this, and you're going to see this tomorrow. At this time, I'm not quite sure where I stand with this deck. I feel pulled to it for sure, but I don't really know how to work with it. I've pulled a Weaver for the year, yeah, and it's kind of, again, already just falling kind of flat. Like, I don't know. I don't feel at all ready to let this deck go and to move it on from my collection. And for the record, I already know exactly what I'm going to do with it if I ever choose to move it on. I can't see myself moving it on. I feel like we haven't found our groove together. Sometimes it can take me a while, like a long while, to figure out how I work with decks. And I don't necessarily feel super attached to this deck, but I love it and I want to be attached to it. That's kind of where we're standing right now. And that's the Weaver's Oracle by Carolyn Hillier. So that's one. The second thing is technically, I'm just grabbing from my drawer, is technically two decks all in one. And that is my Soul Cards 1 and 2. And I'm in a similar place with this, although I don't know why some are upside down. I feel like, oh, let's try turning it this way. Maybe they'll be more upright. The Weavers, or the Soul Cards 1 and 2, which I actually like to put with the Weaver's Oracle. I don't know. It's kind of like a question, and I feel like with this for sure, I haven't had, and I feel the same kind of with the Weaver's Oracle. I feel like this for sure, I kind of haven't had enough. I love this card so much. Had enough opportunity to kind of explore and see what this deck could be with me and could mean to me. This is both 1 and 2 put together. See, two different color backings. I feel like I still have work to do with this, and I just haven't figured it out. And at the end of however many parts of this there are, although maybe there won't be multiple, who knows, I'll do a tally of like what I'm definitely keeping, the stuff that I'm like I'm feeling unsure about but I'm keeping for now, and the stuff that I'm like, this is in purgatory, I'm going to be getting rid of it in some fashion, I just don't know how yet. So I'll do a tally up at the end. But that's, woo, But that is my soul cards 1 and 2. So far, they are safe. Oh, maybe I can do a tally at the bottom of the screen, so maybe you're seeing that. So far, those 2 things are safe and not going anywhere. We shall see how it goes. Next up, all of these bags you're seeing, by the way, well, the nice ones, you'll see some shitty ones, but the nice ones are from Peggy's shop, Peggy Papez's shop, which I will link down in the description. Her wife, Lisa Papez, does YouTube, Tarot YouTube. We love her. I've mentioned her like all the time up in the cards. Her channel's linked. Anyways, it's her wife's shop. Highly recommend. I will link it. This is my Tarot of the She. This is not going anywhere. I have trimmed it because it was very wide, and I did hand trim it, and I edged it in purple because there's a purple border here, which I didn't trim off, and I matched it, and I fucking love it. So this is my Tarot of the She. There we go. Which is 100% not going anywhere. The first 2, like, I don't think they're going anywhere, but I'm still like, wow, could those 2 just not be for me? Honestly, if the Weaver's Oracle and the soul cards aren't for me, I will be a little crushed, but they might not be. I can't tell at this point. This is definitely for me. I am not getting rid of this. I just also, similarly to those other 2, despite the fact that I am 100% sure I'm not getting rid of this, I still don't quite know its place in my tarot practice. I don't currently use it in any readings because I do professional readings. The link is down in the description all the time, along with my Patreon and all that other stuff. Although I do professional readings, this one I'm still unsure of. This one I'm not sure how it flows. I did use it in a reading that I had donated for an auction for my congregation, and it was okay, but I used the guidebook because the guidebook has the poetry in it. So I feel like maybe for now, this deck is just for me. I'm not sure if that will be changing or what type of work I will be doing with it. But that is the Tarot of the She, and I'm just, it's staying, it's mine. I love it. I love the bag match. This bag just screamed Tarot of the She. Don't quite know why. I guess it's the color mixture. It's not going anywhere. But we're still learning each other. And that is why I'm doing this video this style, to kind of wrap my head around my thoughts. And that is why I'm trying so hard this year to spend more time with my decks, specifically because I have quite a few that I don't really feel like that I'm still getting to know, that I don't quite know their place. This is 2 Oracle decks in one, just like the Soul Cards 1 and 2. This is Animal Allies and Animal Allies 2. I did a whole video on this and the story of getting the Peggy bag, which I will link up above in the cards for you. I admit that I haven't been using this. I am still definitely not ready to let it go. So here's yet another deck that I'm still trying to get to know. And the truth of the matter is, my practice, besides the journaling, is very scattered and very confused and very unformed at this point. It's not a well-established, super long-going practice. I've got some pieces now with my journaling that's well-established, like The journaling itself is well established, but the rest of my practice is still, it's still forming. I'm still finding my way, specifically because, Lisa, look, a unicorn. Spider. Specifically because, I think I've mentioned this before in a video, but I do a really scary good job of burying myself with other people's thoughts, and I don't spend the time to sit and get to know my stuff and my thoughts. And that's a lot of what this hanged man surrender year I'm going through is about, because I need to get to know myself at my core instead of other people's selves that I think maybe I could be that. I have multiple identity crisis. It's all very confusing, and it's really hard on my head. Until I've spent some more time establishing myself, I'm not ready to say if my Animal Allies deck is going to be moving on or not. I don't think so, because I really love it. I want to work with animals more. I'm just unsure. So that's that one. This is my Crow Tarot in this fan-fucking-tastic, oh no, bag. Shit. I just realized. Okay. Alright. We'll circle back to my oh shit in a second. This is the Crow Tarot by MJ Coulinane, and this puppy might be on the chopping block. This is the mass market version. I love the cardstock. I love the way it shuffles. I've had some really wonderful moments with this. I'm very connected to crows, and that's why I got this. And I've used this deck. I thought I had found my place using this deck where, like, this felt like a deck to connect with my witchy self. And it felt like a good way for me to, because of the way I'm connected to crows, it felt like a good way for me to connect with that side of myself and to get symbols and signs. So if I want to create a witchy item, I would pull some cards. And I still did that. I did that last month when I was making presents for my friends for Yule. I would pull cards to get, like, I would pull cards to get, like, an idea of what kinds of charms and stuff to include in the things I was making. If you hear tinkling noises, by the way, my son is in his room and he's playing with his magic set. So, like, if I pulled the Knight of Cards when making, the Knight of Cups when making something, I might include the picture of I might include a charm for a cup, or a charm for a horse, or some flowers, or a fish even. Because there's so much symbolism. The thing that made me kind of, I was really enjoying this deck, and then I tried using it for my daily draw, and I do not like the guidebook. At least I didn't at the time. They go backwards. First of all, they start at the kings and go down to the ones, and I don't understand why it does that, and I don't think it says why it does that. So I'm not, oh hey, I stopped on my daily card. So I'm not really sure. I'm just really not sure. I don't know. I don't know. I got this deck specifically because it's crows. I got this deck specifically because it is Crow Tarot, and when I looked up crows, I was like, this is the one. Because I didn't like the other ones that were available. Spoiler alert, I've backed something on Kickstarter that might replace this. I backed on Kickstarter. Let me look. So I backed on Kickstarter the Wisdom of the Crow Tarot, which has an estimated delivery of April 2022. So, and then, and hopefully you'll be seeing here some footage I've inserted of me like showing the Kickstarter, because the artwork is gorgeous and it's a lot more me. And I feel like that's my crow deck, but it didn't exist at the time when I was looking for and got this. And then while I was opening this now, it occurred to me how much this bag, like this bag goes really well with the backs. The pattern is like a perfect match, but the color and the feel of this, which I adore this bag, it's like my favorite colors. It's makes me think that it will go even more perfectly with the Mystic Crow Tarot, or with the Wisdom of the Crow Tarot. So this is my Crow Tarot. Might not be in my collection for that much longer. We shall see once I get my Wisdom of the Crow Tarot. This is one of my crappy bags. And as you might be able to know, you probably do, because this is not an uncommon deck, it has the Enchanted Forest Tarot. Those are pretty backs. Sorry about the light. There, we're just going to hold it like this. I got this deck from my spouse. They gave it to me. It was theirs. And I fell in love with it. And I was like, oh my God, I need this. And they gave it to me. And of these kinds of decks, this is the Llewellyn kind of deck that comes in the big box and all that. Of my Llewellyn decks I have, this one is my favorite. I'm not getting rid of it. I love it, and even if I was going to want to get rid of it, I still won't, because my spouse gave it to me and I love them. So, but I love working with this deck. I feel like maybe the reason I haven't worked with it in a while, this is my favorite Hanged Man, is because this deck feels very much like spring and summer to me. It doesn't feel like winter. So I'm still getting to know this deck and how it works for me in my collection. I've done some path working with it, which has been powerful. And I did I used some of the cards for magic. Like if I was doing spells and stuff, I would pull a card. And again, that was incredibly powerful. I think this one just might be slightly more seasonal in my collection, and I'll determine throughout a few years in the same season when I use it, I'll determine how I do like to use it. In another crappy bag, I have the mass market edition of the Dark Goddess Tarot. This is brand new. I did not get it. Oh, Crow Mother. I got it for Yule. It was my Yule present from my spouse. And I wanted it. And so I have no clue how I'm going to be using it, because I haven't had a chance to spend any time getting to know it yet. I have done a couple of like little pulls and read from the guidebook, and it's powerful. It's really powerful. What's really interesting is the Hanged Man in this. This is such a cool deck. This is such a cool deck because you get all these new layers. Oh, this is my card for the month. I'm going to put that card aside so I remember to look at it, because Spider's a thing in my life, and this is Spider Woman, and it's my monthly card. It brings such new layers to the cards. It brings such a new layer. So I feel like this could be a really good deck for expanding. This is my card for the year, which I really want to spend some more time with. So I feel like this is a really, really good deck for, I have to spend some time getting to know the system. And then once I do, I feel like it's a really good deck to look deeply at cards. But I don't know if that's actually how I'll end up using it, because I haven't used it yet. So I will let you know as that develops how it goes. Next up, we have my very special Tarot of Transformation. And I don't know what to do about this one. If you are unfamiliar with this gorgeous thing, it has horrible card stock. It bounces back, sure, but I mean, sort of. It also just bends. This was one of my first decks I purchased when I started getting back into tarot after my unhealthy time with tarot and then whatnot. And I used this and I loved it, and I still love it. It is such a powerful deck. The art is astonishing. And it was one of my first, like, really intuitive ones. And then, oh, fuck you, non-control. Rude. Rude card. Rude. Moving on. And at the time I was keeping my decks, I was keeping them on my altar with crystals over them. And I spilled water. And this was like I think with shipping, this was close to $80. I think it was like a $60 deck and then like $20 shipping to Canada. But it's, I spilled water and it got all over my decks that were there. It got all over this, my Revelations Tarot, my Goddess Oracle. My Goddess Oracle took the least damage. My Revelations Tarot I was also really upset and concerned about. And this was just destroyed. Because this is practically paper. Like, I could very easily bend this. And so I'm like, I got this again through the incredible generosity of someone in a group I'm in. And I'm kind of scared to use it, because the reason I didn't get it again for myself is because it's a lot of money. $80. I had this deck for like a month and then it got destroyed. That's a lot of money for a deck that was destroyed so easily. I couldn't bring myself to spend that much money again. So, and I've never rebacked a deck, and I'm afraid to reback a deck, and I don't know if there's a good contact paper backing for a deck that I would like to use. So I don't really know what to do with this guy. I don't think I'm going to get rid of it because it meant so much to me to get it back. I'm gonna try using it. I'm just nervous and I don't really know what to do. So if you have any suggestions or any sage advice, like you can reback it. It's no big deal. Let me know in the comments down below because I really do love this deck. And I love this bag for it. This bag is perfect. It reminded me instantly of a specific card in this deck. Next up is an Oracle deck. This is the illustrated herbery by Maya Toll. And I love this deck. I'm not getting rid of this deck. Although you might be noticing a theme, and that theme is I do not use a lot of my decks. Most of my decks are currently not being used. And this one, so this is from the deluxe box set edition. Now, an interesting thing is it does, if you try and riffle shuffle it, it does like hold the shape you fold it into. So it's not the best for that. But hand over hand is fine. I know they have it out in Oracle now, but I love the big books. The big books are absolutely stunning to read. The messages are so strong. And I'm keeping this, and I'm hoping that they will come out with the illustrated crystallary in the deluxe box set, because I have this and the bestiary. And I want all three. I don't know how I'm going to use them. I might even just like, honestly, this might just be a thing that I get all the stuff by Maya Toll. I want the Wild Wisdom one too, because the work is just like, look at this. It's gorgeous. So I've got this and it's not going anywhere, but I don't know what I do with it yet. So if you are watching this and any of these decks, you're like, this is how I use it, let me know in the comments down below, because I'd love to hear. I love this bag match. Oh no, my elastic. Boo. Haven't even had this that long. I guess my elastic was just a bit damaged or something. That's a shame. Anyways, this is my Witchy Cat Tarot. Dame Darcy's Witchy Cat Tarot. Come on with this bag match. Like, come on. I got the edition with the black gilded sides because I had to. I love this. I love this thing. This is interesting because this was my first deck I got that didn't have a guidebook. And I didn't know it didn't have a guidebook because I wasn't paying attention. I was just so enchanted by the cats. So this is my like Halloween time of year deck, my Samhain deck. I used this to pull my daily card every month for October. I didn't do a lot of like readings throughout the month, so I don't know how this works as much for readings, but I love this deck. This deck is very solidly here. I haven't had it for that long. Like, I got it just before Halloween. So, in 2021. So, we're still getting to know each other. We are great friends so far. I love the images. Makes me super duper happy. So, that's that. And I adore my bags. I adore my bag matches. This is my favorite type of bag. I don't hang my decks like Lisa does. At least not yet, because I don't need to with my... I don't need to in order to keep all my decks nicely stored. I have a very good sized desk. And I don't have a lot of wall space because I'm a artist and a painter. So I have tons of paintings. This type of bag is my favorite. This little folding guy, I love it so much. The only thing that I like better is when you get one of those from Peggy that's a wrap bag, which I do have one. You'll see it later. And I like those better for decks that feel like more special. Although, come to think of it, I do have another deck coming in I am going to be getting the Boo Tarot when it comes out. So it'll be interesting to see if anything happens with like Halloween wise. Anywho, this is my Witch's Wisdom Tarot by Phyllis Curott. This puppy is very solid in my collection. I use this deck just for myself, currently at least, because it is I really love the guidebook, so I like to use this for myself. And this is my deck that feels very, very pagan to me, very witchy, and I have no trouble seeing the tarot structure, and I just love this deck. I just love it. So I use this deck in conjunction with some other decks I have for my Wheel of the Year readings. And well, I guess it's no big deal. I use this with my Seasons of the Witch oracles that I'm getting for my Wheel of the Year readings. So depending on which Wheel of the Year day it is, I forgot about this card. I use this, the accompanying oracle. So I use the Yule one with this for my Yule reading. And I do a reading for each holiday of the Wheel of the Year. Because that's what I like to do. I like to have certain things, and once I find a specific way I like to use things, that tends to be the main thing I use it for. I'm hopeful I might find some other ways to use it, like in some more magic. Now this bag is the bag that it came with. Like I am hopeful of that. But like we shall see. Next up we have my Playful Heart Tarot by Kitten Chops. A few of these I got right at the end of the year, and this is one of them. This is the second edition. I did pre-order it. I still have my stamp intact because I like it. And I got the full one with the guidebook, and it's got the extra cards. They all fit in the tuck box, albeit a bit snugly. I fucking love the linen cardstock so much. So this deck and I are still new friends. And I think partly the reason I haven't really used it since I got it is because of the fact that this deck feels very light. Like this feels like my inner child deck, the deck I go to when I need just a gentler message. At least that's how it feels right now. And I haven't been in a light kind of place. This is my favorite Ten of Swords. I'm not even lying. Like, oh my god, I love it. So, I do have the extra cards shuffled in. I tend to be unsure if I will use my decks for other people until I've gotten to know them a bit. This is one of my least favorite cards. But this is the second edition. It is fabulous and I love it. And it is mine. I don't know how I will end up using it yet. I feel like this is going to replace or has replaced the Happy Tarot in my collection. Spoilers. But I'm just not 100% sure, because I'm not really doing inner child's kind of work right now. So, but when I want to do inner child work, this is what I'm going to grab. And then otherwise I'm going to just also, and I love this tuck box. It's fucking so cute. And I'm also going to just like spend some time getting to know it more. The thing I'm doing this year is I'm using my decks that I don't know very well. I'm using during my daily pulls, and I'm gonna, to the best of my ability, force myself to use one each month for my daily pulls to get to know it. And then also for each month, I'm going to use a different card, a different deck for my blah, 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 for the monthly medicine I'm doing as a weaver, member of Boho Tarot, Don Michelle's YouTube group. So I'm hoping to get to know more of the decks. Like this next one. This is the Sun and Moon Tarot. This is my only yet tarot in a tin. And I'm not sure about this deck. A part of me feels like I'm meant to have it because it's the Sun and Moon Tarot. And a part of me thinks maybe I'm just having trouble with it because from what I understand, this has more thothy, like the keywords are like thoth based from what I understand. I'm also unsure because I just haven't spent any time with it really. I used to use it all the time when I first got it. It would just sit at my desk and I would just shuffle it. But I haven't. I got this in 2020. I didn't use it at all in 2021. At least I believe I got this in 2020. So I haven't used this deck in, I believe, a whole year. So I'm really not sure. I'm going to give it a shot to see how it goes. There's some cards I really love in here. Like this one. This is one of my favorite Sun cards. That said, I did back the Gentle Tarot in a tin with the full guidebook. So, and I got this because I wanted a tarot in the tin that I could, whoa, Jesus. I got this because I wanted a tarot in a tin that I could throw in my bag and bring with me. Well, I don't go anywhere. So why? But I have got the Gentle Tarot in a tin with the full guidebook coming to me from the Kickstarter. It was my first Kickstarter. So that one's really kind of on sketchy ground. Like it's almost in purgatory. Like I had it in my purgatory drawer, but the first time I tried to film this, I took it out so that way I could give it another try, you know? And that brings us to, I think this is going to be the last one of this part. That brings us to the Wild Unknown Animal Spirit deck, which is mine and it's not going anywhere. This, I'm very attached to this deck, a surprising amount given that I haven't used it in a long ass time. So I like to create families of things. I don't know why. Look, Lisa Unicorn. I sincerely hope you see this. If you do, or if you're watching this and you're like a Unicorn fam member or you're a Lisa fan, like shout out down in the comments because I think it's funny. I think I'm hilarious. Anyways, I like to put things in families, and I don't know why it was so surprising to me that I also do this with my cards, because I've been doing this since I was a kid. Like oh, spider. My mom will sit there and will tell me how I used to literally put everything into family groupings when I was a kid. Literally everything. So I don't know why it's any different. So this one, it was my spouse's, and then we were looking through their cards one day, and I was looking through this, and I was like, and I had a big reaction. I was looking at it, and like, I swear I'd seen it before, but I wasn't paying attention, and then it was me seeing it for the first time, and I was like, this is unbelievable, this is stunning. And then I pulled a card, and I nearly cried. It was very profound. And so my spouse gave it to me. And so it's not going anywhere. And I love it. I love it anyways, even though I haven't used it in over a year. I think what's going to happen for this is I also have, this is what happens when you shuffle this cardstock riffle style. It starts to like do this when you, like, it's fine. It doesn't bother me so much, but I find it funny. I do have Kim Kranz's other Oracle deck, the Archetypes, which you'll see in part 2. And I used to have the Wild Unknown Tarot, which I got rid of last year. And I'm thinking I'm going to get the Tarot in a tin. Now that I know how to read tarot more, I want to give that one another try. And look at this box. And have the Kim Kranz Wild Unknown family. So this puppy's not going anywhere, and it is one of the ones that I'm hoping to use more this year to get to know it a bit better. It would be really great to get the tarot, the Wild Unknown Tarot in a tin, and use it with this and the Archetypes Oracle for a month of the monthly medicine. So that's the goal. And that is part 1. So far we are at a total of 16 decks altogether, both tarot and oracle. Once I'm done this, like done, I will like let you know how much I have in each grouping, because I like data. But that is where I'm going to leave this video for now. Please don't forget to give it a thumbs up to let me know you liked it on the way out, and leave a comment down below. Do you have any of these decks in your collection? Do you want any of these decks in your collection? Let me know in the comments. In the description box underneath my video, you will find the link to my Patreon, where you can join us for more content and more connecting with me, including a discount on all of my readings, which I do have readings linked. That's my Calendly link in the description box. You can check that out. I have a new reading, in fact. It's called the What the Fuck Is Up With That spread. And it's a reading where I use my new deck to look at really anything that's making you scratch your head and go, what the fuck is up with that? That's what the reading is for. And I use my new deck, and I love it, and I think the name is hilarious. So you can check that out down below in the comments or in the description box. There's also a link to my Facebook page where you will see all the updates. I always post, like if a new video goes up, I post it there and such and such. And I will leave it here because now I have to go film part 2. And that's it. Hope you're well. Lots of love. Bye.